What's going on? We back. Motor City Sports Talk. We in the building. Make sure you hit the subscribe button, hit the bell icon button. Won't miss another video from your boy, you dig. And I'm seeing a lot of people continue to complain about the Lions offense. Okay, for one, I mean, we've been complaining about the Lions offense forever. And two, are we just complaining just to be complainers and getting a kick out of complaining? If that make any type of sense? Because obviously we know when the Lions had weapons when they was healthy. Let's talk about this year in general. When they had Golden Tate, when they had Marvin Jones, when they had who else they had? Kenny Galladay, and when they, had Kerryon Johnson healthy and all, everybody else was good, okay? The Lions didn't produce, okay? They didn't produce. They didn't go up and down the field and score touchdowns. May have been Stafford missing, Galladay and Jones in San Francisco were being off versus the Jets. The Lions offense never looked stable this year. Last year didn't look stable neither. And it's like fans tend to forget how bad the offense actually looked. And numbers and stats in particular do lie. Stats will tell you this offense is this and people say this in yards and scoring, but stats don't tell the whole story. They don't tell you how they padded, numbers towards the end of the game when it was garbage time and teams went into prevent defense. Okay, stats only tell you the overall, result. And I tell you how much BS garbage time they was throwing around, and that's where the majority of Stafford stats always had came from. And garbage time turned into comeback time. But I say this. I say that to say this. Why did you actually expect Jim Bob Cooter to become a better offensive coordinator, even though most people believe he's fighting for his job with less weapons? You expect him to become better without Marvin Jones? You expect him to become better without Brandon Powell? Without Golden Tate, and with Brandon Powell and with Bruce Ellington, who don't have a hamstring muscle, don't know the playbook. You think he's going to get better with Theo Reddick and LeGarrette Blount with running back without Kerryon Johnson? No, you don't get better with less talent. And if he did, well, the Lions been doing it wrong. They should spend all their money on the defense then. So I think people are just complaining to complain. People saying, the Lions fans are getting fed up with Stafford and Jim Bob Cooter. I mean, what's the new narrative? He been here, offensive coordinator for Joe Lombardi for how long? For years. He ain't done nothing. Nothing. It's been the same lethargic offense before he got here. And it might be the same after he gone. Because Mike Martz was supposed to be this high-flying offensive guru, but with John Kitna, he couldn't find a way to punch it in. The Lions would march up and down the field, but couldn't get 6, settle for 3 or turnovers. When Steve Mariucci was here, couldn't figure out how to score the ball with all these receivers. Mike Williams, Charles Rogers, who else you had while he was here? You had, so many receivers, okay? Roy Williams just couldn't figure it out. Scott Linehan was here, couldn't figure out how to pick up first downs. All you could figure out is when it's time, when you're down by 20, chuck it up down the field to Calvin and come back. The Lions' number one problem been running the ball. You think, from Martz to Steve Mariucci, from Martz to Linehan, to Lombardi, to now Jim Bob Cooter, you think about the 5 offensive coordinators, they figure out, okay, we don't got to get cute by being a dome team and being a flamboyant team going down the field all the time. We just got to be able to run the ball and then play off of the run. They still haven't figured out a consistent way to run the ball. They still ain't figured it out. And how can you guys and myself, media, writers, vloggers like myself, fans, haters, whoever it may be, or people in the organization, how can we figure Jim Bob Cooter is a good or adequate offensive coordinator? And for the coaches as well, too, in the media, okay? Coaches and everybody in the management. How can we figure Jim Bob Cooter is a good or can be a great or good adequate offensive play caller or coordinator, to be exact, but he needed an offensive run game coordinator. Y'all feel me? He needed a new offensive line coach. He needed a run game coordinator to figure out how to run the ball. You know, what are we paying you for if you don't know how to run the ball? And everybody knew Jim Bob Cooter sucked. But people want to act like, oh, Terry Austin was the problem and the defense was so much the problem. Defense wasn't the problem because the defense didn't invest like the offense did. They didn't invest in the defense. Especially coming into this year. They didn't invest into the defense. Deshaun Hand was their prized possession. You know, he was balling the most. Then, you know, you bring in Devin Kennard, who got hurt today. You know, but they ain't spend no money on defense. It ain't nobody over there making $100 million on defense or close to it. You know? Everything was invested on offense, and the offense didn't put up. People just want to point to the defense and Terrell Austin like he was the issue. He wasn't. He done better than anybody could do with what he was given with scraps on the defensive side. The Lions, the one that didn't put no attention on the defense. They let Sue walk. They didn't draft Aaron Donald. Okay, you know they waited late to draft Jerry Davis, and people was just acting like, "Oh, look at the offensive numbers, the defensive numbers." Man, them numbers was lying. Stafford was keeping the Lions ranked high in yardage and high enough in scoring with garbage time and padding stats. But my main premise of this video is this, okay? Did we expect Jim Bob Cooter and Matthew Stafford to get better with less talent? I mean, that's just like very, 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 very ignorant for people to think. If he couldn't do it fully healthy with seasoned vets like Jones and Golden Tate and a super rookie in Kerryon Johnson, you know, he couldn't do it with Calvin Johnson and Eric Ebron. He couldn't find a way to get Eric Ebron to get down to make it produce. But you know, the cat Frank Wise over there in Indianapolis Colts and Andrew Luck can get Ebron to produce. He couldn't get Ebron to produce. So I mean, come on, he couldn't get nothing. He made Calvin retire for the most part. Okay? He couldn't make Ebron do nothing. Ebron having a career year with Indianapolis. This is the same guy that needed an offensive run game coordinator to show him how to run the ball. So if you still need help and you still in the the real hardcore learning phase of how to be an offensive coordinator, you know, like you still in the learning phase, it's not like, okay, he just need a little bit more seasoning and we can help him out. Like, dude didn't even know how to run the ball. Some of the run plays he was running was like, bro, he's not even qualified to be a play caller in the NFL. He'd have been a play caller for how many years now? He still ain't grew into the role. He had how many off seasons to draw up more plays and come up with more concepts and be innovative? And we thought he was going to become a Houdini or a wizard with play calling, as he lost all the majority of his talent. Like, now you just got guys writing stories every day now. Fans are getting frustrated and tired with Jim Bob Cooter and Matthew Stafford. Like, dude, like, they don't have nothing no more. Kenny Galladay in the Galladayettes. Okay? We know Matthew Stafford has never made a receiver great or made a receiver good. He hasn't did what Rodgers does or what Tom Brady did with Julian Edelman and Wes Welker. It just ain't him. And then everybody want to turn around and say, oh, they don't have an offensive line. Or it's the organization. He's not running the ball so good. At some point, you got to turn around and look at Matthew Stafford, okay? Dude ain't that good, man. He going to need everything perfect around him offensively. Or be turned into a game manager with a strong run game and be asked to make about 5 or 7 critical throws a game. You know, important throws a game. You know, but that's just the fact of it, man. We just continue to sound redundant and say, oh, fire Cooter, fire Cooter, fire Cooter, fire Cooter and Stafford. Are we expecting them to get better with less talent? No. You know, will they fire Jim Bob Cooter? Who knows? The Lions might give him 1,000th chance, you know. But who are you going to replace him with? Mike McCarthy, who got fired today from Green Bay? You know? That's the question. Who are you going to replace him with? You know, but hey, it's Goodfellas Motor City Sports Talk. Appreciate everybody for checking in, man. Much blessings to all the brothers out there and sisters out there supporting the page. Don't forget, we on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. Also, you can email me, reach out to me if you got a video request, a business inquiry, a sponsorship. Want to make a donation to the page? That link's in the description as well. Appreciate everybody who do donate. Let me know what y'all feel about the video. Y'all know what the business is. One time for the one time we gone.